All right, we are back after a week away from the MHA podcast, and we're back to talk about week 6, not week 5, week 6, right, Miguel?
That's right.
Why wouldn't we want to talk about week 5?
Because we didn't do a podcast.
But why didn't we do a podcast?
That's a good question. Why didn't we do a podcast?
Because I was busy at work, that's why. Lots of work going on. I know the Twitterverse says we didn't do it because Eric lost to Alan, but that's not the truth. Not the truth. I'm going to debunk that right now. So what? I lost to Alan. Alan won 2 in a row. Alan's a powerhouse. I don't know if y'all know that or not.
Yeah. Yeah. You better sit back and recognize,
Oh, better recognize. Eric Lansing, Todd Diamond, and Mikey Renault here on a Wednesday night. I got last-second tickets to the Nuggets, so we didn't do it last night, but we're doing it here on Wednesday night. How's everyone doing? How's everyone's Wednesday going? Todd had to take his car in, Mikey's car in the shop. What a day. What a day.
What a day. What a day. But ready to talk some football.
Let's talk some football. Let's first recognize the awesomeness that is Lion Rip. 5-1, fellas. Leads the MHA in points by a wide margin. Let's just bask in his glory.
Really don't want to, but
greatest in the universe.
Hey, Mikey, you can attest to this, right? You can have, highest scoring team in the regular season, but hey, it's all about the playoffs. So
Mikey said it don't mean nothing. Doesn't mean nothing, Aaron. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it means something. Like,
it's got to mean something, right?
I know. It's good.
First number one gets a first round bye if he holds on to that one spot. Points matter in a huge way. Deciding on if someone else is tied with him at the end of the year.
Maybe I don't want to give him any bulletin material because I'm playing him this week. But
rematch time, huh?
Oh yeah.
Who won the first meeting?
Me. What's up?
He's coming for you, Aaron. He's gonna go 2-0 against you. He's gonna shut you right up with that 5-1, put you at 5-2.
Yeah, we'll see.
5 and tie. That's what this is, huh? 5 and tie.
Oh man, this league is so fun sometimes. Let's talk about some news.
I don't understand what the news is. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of you can't fix that happened that was horrible.
And how about one of Mikey's wide receivers, Rashee Rice, coming off the 6-game suspension? It's been lifted. He should be ready to go this week. Are you playing him this week, Miguel?
Yeah, James Cook's on a bye, so he's going right in.
Rice is coming right in. He ain't got time to warm up or anything. He's going in.
Yep.
Let's talk about someone else for Mikey. Into his flex. And because of Marvin Harrison Jr., perhaps, suffered a concussion against the Colts in week 6. So the Hot Tamales, is he going to miss? Are you going to have to use him this week?
No, I don't have to use him this week. Like I said, with Rice going into the flex, I'll just comfortably put Marvin Harrison on the bench and let him recover from his head trauma.
Must be nice to have some depth out there. Gonzo Cats will be without their Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson, who will miss the next couple of weeks after hyperextending his knee against the Broncos. Let's talk about someone from Todd's team, Butterfinger superstar Puka Nacua. Injured his ankle against the Ravens, and as of Tuesday was listed as day-to-day. I haven't heard anything of today. Did he get any practice in, Todd?
No.
No practice? Oh, how are you going to beat Aaron without Puka?
I know. It's oh, Lord. I don't
know, Todd. The confidence in that was not good.
When it happened on Sunday, I was like, I got a text from Mikey. He said, Puka went down.
Mikey loves distributing bad news, by the way.
It does. It's like,
he said, I hope he was okay.
Yeah, he said he was.
We can't tell how sarcastic it is in a text, but I feel like there was probably some sarcasm there.
Yeah. But he said, okay, hope he's okay. And I was like, oh my God. So of course I get on Twitter. I'm at work at mind too.
That's the worst part. You're working hard, you're getting things done, and Mikey says, "Oh, guess who's hurt?"
So I'm going through Twitter. I'm like, okay, Puka's news. I'm like first I don't see it on there, so I type it in and search. I'm like, oh my God, please. And then it says go in the locker. He's going into the locker. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm thinking, please God, please, please. And then they said, okay, he's on the sideline with his helmet. I'm like, oh, all right, fantastic. And then I think somebody scores a touchdown, and then like and wasn't Puka, and then I text Mikey, was Puka on the field when that happened? He's like, yeah, I wasn't doing anything.
So
So, yeah.
Puka Nakua. Keep an eye on him as we go along.
Well, here's the thing: we're gonna know very, very soon because they're playing in London this week. So it's good. It's good.
You have a couple days though.
Yeah, well,
It's not tomorrow. Tomorrow you probably ain't playing. At least you have a couple days. The thing to keep an eye on, does he travel?
that's what thing is. Like, if
If he's still in the States when
Yeah,
it comes
then-
to Sunday, you probably ain't playing.
yeah, he's probably not gonna catch a red eye over the pond. So
Someone else that's not practicing, Alvin Kamara, dealing with an ankle issue, limited in practice all of last week, but didn't practice here today. And on the lug nut side of things, I was eating W's. On the lug nuts, I don't even know what team I'm. That's my fantasy baseball team. The Lemonheads, godly. CeeDee Lamb was listed as limited participant in Wednesday, so showing some signs that he could be returning soon. I'd love to have him back. It'd be very helpful. That's all I have. At least in terms of like the major stuff. Anybody else? Did I miss anything? Anything from your team that's not going well? And I think I mentioned Mikey's guys. But those are the main ones I saw.
yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, kind of double dipped on the Marvin Harrison thing. I'm
Double dipped.
Yeah, because I have.
I almost bought some Dippin' Dots at the Nuggets game last night, but I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, hey, Dippin' Dots are awesome. I guess
Debo didn't play practice today. He's dealing with a heel issue.
Couldn't he not played on Monday night? But DJ Moore, he looked like he had to go to the hospital.
Has he played all year? Has he done anything?
He had week 3.
That's disappointment of a wide receiver.
Yeah, well,
that has a lot of wide receivers banged up. Terry McLaurin's still banged up. Quentin Johnston's still banged up. Yeah, I mean, mass unit
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Golden's the only one still standing. So
and you didn't play him.
No, I did not. And maybe would have when we talk about the recap.
Maybe the week. Maybe we should get into the recaps. You guys want to start? You want to go through the recaps here?
Let's rock and roll.
Let's start with the best team in the league, Lion Rip. He's so good, isn't he, guys? Yeah. He defeated the Lemonheads 166-136. It was the 5th win on the season. In the first 6 games for Aaron's team and for Eric's squad, well, they've lost the last 4 weeks in a row. Brutal. Josh Jacobs did everything he could to help those Lemonheads as the second-round pick piled up 29 points, scoring 2 touchdowns. And third-round pick Trey McBride had his best game of the season, scoring 17. Jonathan Taylor, a man possessed this season, leads our league in running back points. He added 23 more this week, 123 rush yards and a rushing TD. And how about Bijan Robinson, who racked up 32 points, making the Bills' defense look silly. He had 20 of those in like the first quarter and a half or something like that. It was crazy. He had a big, long run that kind of sealed the deal for Mr. Renault. But this one, of course, came down to the Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes, and it was the Kansas City quarterback who outdueled the Lions signal caller on Sunday, 59-43. Lion Rip takes the victory. The Hot Tamales, they were 3-2, facing off against 2-3 Gonzo Cats. Justin Herbert had a 50 burger for David's team, while George Pickens continues his resurgence with the Cowboys, reaching 20 or more points for the second time this season. And how about that pickup of the Raiders defense? 20 points against those putrid Titans who fired their head coach because of how bad things are. 6 sacks and 2 fumble recoveries. The Tamales, Jackson Smith and Jigba continues to pile up the points. 22 against the Jaguars. And Rico Dowdle, back-to-back weeks of 31 points on the dot there for the Panthers running back. The matchup came down to Monday night. The Tamales had Caleb Williams and James Cook, while the Gonzo Cats had Matt Gay and a 50-point lead. James Cook wasn't himself, running for a mere 8 points, matching Gay's 8 points. So it was up to Caleb Williams, who threw a touchdown with about 10 minutes left to go in the game, and it was about a 10-point lead. He never really got closer than that. And it was the Gonzo Cats who won 149-139. Mikey, what do you want to say about this week's matchup?
I mean, it's a little bit frustrating. Like, just Caleb Williams, not enough completions.
Yeah.
That game, he had a touchdown taken away on a penalty, which was really frustrating. I mentioned to you that I had woke up after the waivers went through and I was picking between the Titans and the Raiders, and I picked the Titans because,
You mean the
Geno
defenses,
Smith,
right?
yeah, between the defenses, and Geno Smith had been a turnover machine, and the Raiders had been one of the teams that had given up the most return yards. So I was like, let's go with Tennessee. And then Holland picks up the Raiders, and that's basically the difference in in winning and losing. So that's
Oof.
obviously frustrating.
Is that a candidate for Dove of the Week? Picking the wrong defense?
Mm, no, because nah, because
I don't
we
know. I
all
think that's a Mikey choice. Is that a Dove of the Week, or is it based on other factors of guys you had on your bench?
Personal dough of the week for me.
Yeah, I mean that makes the difference. 20 points for the Raiders, 7 for the Titans. If you would have picked the Raiders, and let's say he went with the Titans, he would have won the matchup.
Well, I also don't know if I would have picked the Raiders who he would have chose. So there's that too.
Well, yes, very true. Very true. We'll keep going here. Anything else you want to say about the matchup? A little frustrating. Caleb didn't get enough completions. Anything else that was disappointing? I mean, Dowdle,
Well,
if that ends up being something for you, I'm going to hate you because I have Chubb or Hubbard who's been hurt, hopefully coming back. May not have his job when he comes back. But yeah.
I sure hope. I mean, Rico Dowdle's been amazing. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But no, let's move on.
Let's move on. How did the mighty 4-1 Butterfingers do this past week against the 2-3 Cooper's Cousins? Is there anything to say about a 100 to 97 point game? Puka Nakua, we mentioned, got hurt against the Ravens. It came out, went back in, finished with just 3 points. Good old reliable Christian McCaffrey once again over 20 points. But the rest of the team was less than stellar. Just 4 points from Sterling Shepard, 2 points from the recent pickup of Hassan Haskins, and only 28 points from Matt Stafford. Butterfingers, of course, had some injuries with no Quentin Johnston and Terry McLaurin. Not much exciting on the other side either. Really, 40 points from Baker Mayfield was better than Matt Stafford's 28. 16 points from Ashton Genty. Todd actually held a 97 to 95 lead heading into the Monday night affair. Cooper's Cousins had Deebo Samuel still to go. The Commanders wide receiver didn't do much, but he did just enough, 4 points, to steal away the victory from the Butterfingers by a measly 3 points. Todd, what do you have to say? Tough. Not a lot of points on either side. Got just enough from Deebo to come away with a victory. Some of your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, it just seems like two of those Monday night games, and the opponent has like one player left, and like, oh, the first half doesn't do anything. I'm like, okay, come on, just don't throw the ball. This is great, but no, I mean, Haskins, I just like with Mikey picking between Tennessee and the Raiders defense, I picked the wrong Chargers running back because Vidal, geez,
Yeah.
Lord Almighty, like 21. I mean, granted, I think Aaron had him and it was on his bench, 21 points, but I read the news report. It's like, oh, he's going to be the lead back, and usually sometimes I would probably in the past I probably would have gone for Vidal because he's more of he was more of the might be more of the passing speedier back, but I think I had a higher enough waiver, and I was like, you know what, let me try something new. Never again. And Haskins got me, just never again. I will, if it says this is the lead back, I'm going to do the complete opposite, to go the George Costanza moment there. But, yeah, it just wasn't, I mean, Puka going down, really, that obviously hurt me because obviously so far up to this point, and hopefully he'll back. He's looking like a strong candidate, or is a strong candidate for fantasy football MVP.
Bring that A game.
The Puka thing is just funny because I watched that game and it changed the way that the Rams played. Like all of a sudden they were a running team first, so it hurts you both ways because all of a sudden like Stafford wasn't getting any points because Puka was out of the game. So that may affect you going forward with your quarterback.
Whoa, that's double whammy if he doesn't play this next
Yeah,
week.
well, I went. That's why. That's why at least I went and picked up a backup quarterback. Maybe that.
Oh, did you now?
Yes, I did. Just to.
And who did you pick up?
Well,
Wasn't
not
much
to,
out there.
No, I picked up Jackson Dart.
Oh, interesting. Against the Broncos?
Well, I'm
That's
not playing him.
good.
I mean, I'm not playing him against
Yeesh.
the. I'm not playing against the Broncos. Are you kidding me? I'm not. Sometimes I know I say a lot of crazy things every single day and every moment of hour of the day, but I'm not that crazy.
Oh, okay. You're not that crazy. You're not going to do it, right?
I'm not. No, I'm not going to play Jackson Dart against.
Well,
the
now you
Broncos.
have to play Jackson Dart because you said you're going to do the total opposite of what you're going to do going forward.
Ooh.
Yeah, but certain things. I'm not.
Certain things. Mm-hmm. George Costanza went all in.
Well,
You gotta play Jackson Dart this week.
Well, if I
Let's continue on here.
okay.
We'll get back to that. The Eaton W's and Notorious CUP matchup also came down to the Monday night affair. Quayne held a 119-93 lead with DeAndre Swift, and Buffalo's defense still left to go. Kevin's squad still had the first round pick of Josh Allen and 2025 upstart of Roma Dunze. Well, it wasn't Eaton W's night as the Bears wide receiver only managed 2 catches for 32 yards, and Josh Allen, his second worst performance of 2025, just 34 points. But DeAndre Swift came ready to play under the lights, racing for the century mark to go along with 67 receiving yards and a receiving TD for 22 points. Buffalo's defense had 9. It was more than enough for CUP to beat Kevin's squad 150-131 to improve to 4-2. Eaton W's falls to 3-3. The defending champs took their 3-2 record up against 1-4 Belt Sanders. Kilgore Trout saw their starting quarterback Dak Prescott feast on those Panthers defenders for 53 points and 3 pass TDs. And then there was Devin Achane. Boy rushed for 2 touchdowns and 128 yards for 29 points. But Joe had 5 players with 6 points or less, including 1 point from Calvin Ridley and 1 from Mason Taylor. For the Belt Sanders, they saw their first overall pick, Jamar Chase, come to life with Joe Flacco in Cincinnati. The Bengals wide receiver had 20, while Denver's defense mauled Justin Fields in London for 9 sacks and 17 points. While Ramondre Stevenson only mustered up 1 point, Allen's squad got 8 points from Chig Okonkwo and 7 points from Romeo Dobbs to win for the second straight week, taking down the 2024 champs by a score of 126-124. And finally, Chad Powers Fan Club picked up their second win on the season after 7 of his players reached 8 points or more, including 14 from that old tight end and Zach Ertz, who recorded 12 points from Jalen Waddle, and 46 points from Jaden Daniels. The NWA got a massive day from Drake London, who reached double digits in catches for a total of 23 points, and he got 13 from Derrick Henry. He finally reached double digits for the first time in 3 weeks, but Emeka Egbuka suffered a hamstring injury and only scored 3. The Eagles defense allowed the New York Football Giants, I don't know if I'm reading this right, the Eagles defense allowed the New York Football Giants to score 34 points and put up a mere 4, while the NWA's kicker failed to even record a kick and finished with the big goose egg. Miles' team takes the 125-106 victory. Both teams now at 2-4. We can talk about that dough of the week. We talked about the hot tamales and then Butterfingers, DJ Moore. We talked about that. He had 6 points, or RJ Harvey had 5, or Matthew Golden. Anytime you have 2-point difference, you can put anybody in there. Mikey, is it your team or is it Todd's team this week?
I don't want it. Todd can have it.
Should you have played Joe Flacco over Caleb Williams?
No.
Or picked Raiders defense over the Titans defense?
I can say that I should have maybe done that, but like I said, I don't know who, Pollard would have picked in that scenario. There's no guarantee he would have picked Tennessee.
That's fair. That's fair. But you did make the wrong decision.
Yes.
Todd, do you think you deserve it this week, or is it Mikey going to get the dough of the week? It ain't me because I wasn't even close enough to win, so I would just take it because I suck, but that's not how this game works.
6, 5, and 8. Yeah, I mean, but God, Sterling in that offense, the way they were playing.
Just because Sterling Shepard had double digits last weekend, but it didn't do much before that.
No.
I mean, you had some injuries too. I don't know if I would have. I don't know. DJ Moore has been kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
that's
frustrating because I could see why you went away from him.
yeah. I mean, maybe
don't know.
Matthew Golden, because Matthew Golden at least was showing.
He had 8 points the previous week, 7
Hey.
points the week before that. So some better than DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I
Mikey,
mean,
you're getting the dough of the week.
All
Sorry,
right,
my friend.
I very
I do
rarely
love
get
you,
it,
but
so get me while you can.
all
Yeah.
right, let's get into some studs.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Todd, give me a cream of the crop this past week.
cream of the crop.
Mike, Todd, you still with us?
Yeah, sorry. George Pickens, 23 points. Wow. I mean, obviously no CeeDee Lamb, so
George Pickens. Oh man,
I know.
that just meant you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It just bothers me because like that should be CeeDee Lamb's points.
Well, of course it
No.
should. Well, of course it should. Of course it should be. Come on. Yeah, no. I mean, 160 yards receiving. That is just that. I mean, he's kind of had a slow, a little bit of a slow start. Well,
Yeah,
not a
week
slow start.
one,
Yeah, week
but-
1, and then just
but he had 14, 14, 26, 10, and 23.
yeah, that's pretty good. So good on Paulin for that one. Golly, 23 points for George Pickens. I don't.
George Pickens, third in our league in points scored by wide receiver.
That is
Puka.
freaking.
Amon-Ra, George, mother bleeping Pickens.
I don't think we had that on the bingo card. Golly.
No, sure didn't. No,
No.
one did. Mikey,
No.
give me a stud.
Well, and since CeeDee Lamb has been out, he's the number 1 receiver in our league, which is just
All
nuts.
right. Yeah, he's great. Let's move on.
All right, I'm going with Drake May.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, like when we were having the draft and Queen waited
You were
on
all wrong.
quarterback,
All wrong.
but I mean, at this point, like you can't really argue it. Like he's been, that good so far this year. I think he's 5th so
Fifth.
far.
5th.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because it's not like New
Queen, the
England.
quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, it's not like New England has a bunch of like studs at the wide receiver, but he's finding ways to use, Booty and Douglas and Diggs and Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. All these guys are, getting catches, and yeah, I mean he's been pretty consistent. So yeah, Drake May
We
is my
shall
stud.
see. He has had an easy schedule up to this point. Now, he played tough Buffalo where he had 34, but 51 against New Orleans, 7th worst team in the league in terms of points to quarterbacks. He had Pittsburgh, which was 5th worst. He had 51. And against Miami, who was 3rd, he had 49 against them and 47 against Vegas. So he's had an easy schedule. I'm not taking anything from Drake. He's been really good. He's had 2 or more touchdown passes and was at 4 of the 6 games. But he's got at Tennessee this week, he's 26th in points allowed to quarterbacks, then Cleveland 25th and Atlanta 30th. So we'll see what he's made of in the next 3 weeks. But up to this point, 5th amongst all quarterbacks. Well
Love
done.
the Drake.
Love
Drake.
the Drake.
Oh, man. How about Patrick Mahomes out-dueling Mr. Jared Goff to help Aaron come up with a win? 22 completions, 3 passing TDs, 257 yards. He also had a rushing touchdown as well. Number 2 overall quarterback here this season. Man, he's had 50 or more points in 4 games this season. 59 against Detroit, 57 against Jacksonville. Hollywood Brown back in the lineup has seemed to have helped out quite a bit in that regard. And Mahomes has 4 rushing touchdowns already in the first 6 weeks. So Patty Mahomes, I know that's what he doesn't want to be called, but it's my podcast. I'll do what I want. But he is tearing it up for Aaron's team, thus the number 1 team with one of the top quarterbacks in the league. So well done there. Another stud from you, Todd?
Jaden Daniels, 46. What? What? Yes. Jaden Daniels, three touchdowns. Pretty. I mean, he's been. I mean, obviously 2 weeks he didn't play, but still 41, 47, 34, then another 4. I mean, and just the matchup he's got next week against Dallas. Woo-wee. And he might put up 4 touchdowns for that one. But yeah, Jaden Daniels. For
Yeah,
Miles.
he was 10th amongst quarterbacks this week, but it was a big reason why Chad Powers won this week with 46 points.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love is 35. So I can't argue with that. Not justification for putting him up there. Mikey, who else did you have as a stud from week 6?
Well, let's stick with Aaron's team, and we're gonna go with Mr. Bijan Robinson, who
Yeah, he was my other one too.
has been absolutely, amazing. Like, despite the fact that he's had, a bye week already, he's still fifth amongst all running backs in points in our league. And, again, he very rarely, I mean, Algier gets opportunities here and there, but like he's going to get so many touches. It's hard for him not to. It's like Christian McCaffrey almost, where you're just getting it in the passing game, you're getting it in the running game, and he's so elusive and hard to stop. Yeah, he's amazing. How did he fall to fifth?
Just imagine too. I mean, he's got more rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey, and he has more receptions. No, actually, he does not have more receptions. My bad. He's third in receptions. But if he just had a couple more touchdowns, he would be up there with CMC in terms of fantasy points. But yeah, he's been incredible. He had that big touchdown. I think it was a touchdown run.
Yeah, 81 yards.
Breaking my back. But yeah, he's been tremendous and shouldn't fell that far. Fell that far? Yeah, that's right.
Fall that far.
Fall that far? Fell that far?
Fallen that far.
The last one I had was I thought Dallas Goedert played a huge reason why that notorious CUP came up with a victory. 22 points for the tight end who sits third amongst all tight ends at 66 points. He had 9 catches, 110 yards, and a TD. Coming up big, where, tight ends, not a lot of good ones out there, but I think he's done pretty well for himself here in the early going. Big time win to get 150 points, a season high for CUP, and then 22 came from his tight end. So big time from the Philly tight end. All right, let's go to the terrible, stinking dud.
This is the worst. You are the worst. I hate looking at your face. I want to smash it.
Mikey, who you got?
Well, if you're Joe, I know Nico Collins was on a bye, but Calvin Ridley, he had one good week, which last week, which was like 11 points. And so coming off of it, I'm sure Joe's like figuring, maybe he's getting going, and then he comes back and drops a 1 point game. What did Cam Ward say?
A good matchup too.
What did Cam Ward say about the Titans? He said, "We asked Calvin Ridley, you asked."
Yep. Yeah.
And he's hurt, dealing with a hamstring. So I don't know if he left the game early. I didn't get to watch football on Sunday. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but still, that's a good matchup. A lot of hype with Calvin Ridley and that new quarterback coming in. He has definitely not lived up to it. 0 touchdowns this season. Todd, give me a dud.
I'll give just a dud from my team. Quinton, butcher his name.
The Cleveland running back.
Judkins. Only 3 points after 3 awesome weeks. Now, granted, I know they were down, so we're throwing the ball, but come on, get it to one of your best players. I mean, just what are we doing here? What are we doing? Just throwing the ball, even with Gabriel. I mean, again, I thought I was like, okay, maybe this will be the time they'll put Shador in there, but no, that didn't happen either. But yeah, not one of his not one of his best games. Only a mere 3.6. Not good. Not
3
good at all.
point. Oh, it's 3.6 points. I was like, is it 3.6 yards per carry? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, well, he rushed for 36 yards, so maybe there was a decimal place in there somewhere. But yeah, not on his best. But get back on track next week. So not really.
Well, better matchup, I guess, next week against the Dolphins. But
Yep.
and it's a game where they threw the ball like 52. I think it was more than 52 times, but I think technically he threw the ball 52, but dropped back like 58 and did not do well. So it's definitely kind of surprising. Since we're doing our own teams, I got to throw in at Cortland Sutton, 1 point. And I understand he had Sauce Gardner on the other side, but this is a guy that, I figured was better than someone could come in and shut him down. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I always try to stay away from Broncos. I mean, obviously you're in London. It's a different type of feel of a game. It's, obviously over here was early. I don't know what time it was over there, but just not a good day at all. And it didn't seem like it was a good day for the Broncos offense in general. So it may not have been his fault totally. I didn't get to see really much of any of that game, but 1 point's not going to get it done. Big reason why I failed this week. Cortland Sutton, stank it up. Mikey, you got another dud for me?
Yep, I'm gonna go with Jordan Love for NWA.
Yeah.
Dream matchup too. Like quarterbacks have been slaughtering Cincinnati all year, so you would think after Jordan Love had a 60-point performance against Dallas, like he would have some momentum and some confidence. They're at home. They're playing that crappy Bengals defense, and then he throws up a 35. It's one of those reasons why when we were doing our quarterback rankings, I had Jordan Love so low. It's just this is kind of what he is. Like he's a low completion guy, and so if there's games where Josh Jacobs is getting those red zone touches and takes the touchdowns, then Jordan Love is just not worth it.
Especially if Josh Jacobs is doing Josh Jacob things and they don't have to throw. Because for him to run the ball and score 2 touchdowns, they're not going to have to throw it up a ton of times. Maybe they had to against Dallas where he had 31 completions, but 18 before that, 19 before that, 16 before that. So yeah, very inconsistent. I think if they needed him to do that type of stuff, then great. But I mean, when they're running the ball and their defense is playing well, you're just not sure what you're going to get from him. I agree with you on that. Mike, it's going to be Todd, another dud.
All right, let's go with a Todd favorite here. Keenan Allen. 5 points.
As soon as he put up that 5 point, Todd was like, I am throwing him on the dud section. I hate that guy.
Yep. Yep. Against the Dolphins. Come on now. Come on now. Mikey says Keenan Allen's going in the Hall of Fame here, so
I don't think I ever said that.
well, when you sent that graphic and you said, yeah, in your face. So it just means you're saying he's a Hall of Famer.
Putting words in Mikey's mouth. Oh man.
Has Keenan Allen not had a good season, Todd?
Let's see. Nah. 16, 14, 16, 6, nah. Yeah.
No? He was drafted in the last round of the draft. You don't think that exceeds expectations?
Okay, I get a smidge, but not.
It's a smidge.
Just a smidge there.
I'm gonna stay on Mr. Kevin's team here. Josh Allen. Oof. Guess he just looked bad, right, Mikey? We were watching that game, and it just like not hitting his target. He was getting kind of a lot of pressure in his face, and just didn't look. I think he was getting ready for that bye week a little early. But he had 15 completions for 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks, and just not a Josh Allen type of day against Atlanta, who's pretty, at least, stats wise, are 30th in terms of points allowed to quarterbacks. So they must have figured out Josh Allen, but not a good week. And that really hurt Kevin, who needed a big time performance to try to keep up with CUP, who scored 150 points. So if he had a typical 45-point day, that would have helped out. It still wouldn't have mattered. It would have been closer, but obviously with Rome Dunze, you could put him kind of in that mix as well. Okay. So the week 7 schedule, we got a couple of rematches already here in this week. And this is probably the matchup of the week as the number 1 versus number 2. 5-1 Line Rip takes on 4-2 Butterfingers Todd Squad. Defeated Aaron's team 158-133 in week 3. How about another rematch? 3-3 Hot Tamales in his rematch against Kilgore Trout, who was also 3-3. These two went at it in week 1, and it was Mike who defeated Joe by a final of 119-92. How about another 3-3 matchup? Cooper's cousin and Gonzo Cats will face off. This is not a rematch, however. 4-2 Notorious CUP will battle 2-4 NWA. 3-3 Eaton W's will look to beat the Lemonheads for the second time this season in a rematch. Eric's squad 2-4. And both the Chad Powers fan club and the Belt Sanders will look for that win number 3 in week 7 as both come in with a 2-4 record. There are 2 teams on a bye this week, the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. So no Lamar Jackson, no Derrick Henry, no Josh Allen, and no James Cook. So anything, Todd, do you want to say about your matchup or rematchup? I don't know if rematchup's a word, but I just made it up. Rematchup with Line Rip.
Well, I mean, my team's definitely going to look a lot different. May look a lot different this week compared to week 3. As you can see, I definitely kind of went to not the bottom of the barrel of wide receivers, just because I don't know if Puka's going to play, so I took him out of my lineup. I'm hoping he'll play. So, yeah, it's going to be. I put it this way: it's Sunday morning, 7:30, and Sunday night. Those 2 games will determine who really wins, because I think Monday night really I've Seattle's defense and kicker, and he has Houston's kicker. So really, Sunday morning and Sunday night, those will be the determining factors how this matchup will go. Plain and simple, because I have Stafford in the morning. He has Kyron Williams. Oh, and of course he puts Jameson Williams in there. Never mind. Okay, so so again, it's going to come down to Monday night once again. Hooray! So,
well, it's not like Jameson Williams has been lighting up the world. I guess he had a touchdown this past weekend, but he had 1 before that, 3 before that, 4 before that. But that Tampa game could get high scoring.
True, and I think Sunday night will be a big factor. It will be a duel too, because Christian McCaffrey versus Bijan Robinson. So that's going to be a duel, and they're back and forth. So yeah,
Fine.
I mean, Terry McLaurin. Let's see. He could be let's see if he's the X factor if he plays or not.
Jackson Dart.
I am not playing. Are you out of your? First of all, especially at home.
Look, Jalen Hurts had 46 points against the Broncos. Justin Herbert had 44, and Daniel Jones had 47. Let's go, Jackson Dart.
Yeah, well,
Do it.
No, absolutely.
Mikey, how are you feeling about your matchup against Kilgore Trout?
I mean, this is for me, it's the biggest game of the season so far. It's that swing game. Me and him are both 3-3. One of us goes over 500, the other doesn't, and I don't like not having James Cook this week, but hey, Rashee Rice, like I said, he's gonna have to step in. I'm worried about Chuba Hubbard getting playing time, coming back off of that calf injury. So I've got my concerns, but at the same time, I also feel like I have some advantages. I've got the best receiver tandem, out there. I need a bounce back game from Breece Hall is what I need.
Yeah, well, and with Joe, he's got Jordan Mason back in the lineup after a bye week. Nico Collins back after a bye week. We'll see Prescott versus those Commanders, how that's going to look. The projection is 130.86 to 129.74, so incredibly close. With Eaton W's, that's who I'm playing this week. He picked up Sam Darnold as his quarterback because he didn't have a backup quarterback. So Josh Allen on the bye helps me out a ton. And so I'm hoping that Detroit, Tampa Bay gets a little high scoring. I'm hoping Chuba comes back. I'm hoping CeeDee Lamb comes back. because that would be incredibly helpful. Because I do not want to start Jacoby Myers once again. It has been painful, and he hasn't been over 6 points since week 2. So I'd love to not have to start him this week. Okay, guys, we're kind of at the end of the show. Anything you want to say? Anything you noticed? What's going through your minds as what are we, week 7 this week? So the season's flying by.
Well,
other than Aaron, there's way too much parity.
There is a lot of parity. Even at 2 and 4, I'm not like panic mode quite yet. So
yeah.
no, outside Aaron, no one's really jumped out to the forefront. I mean, Mikey's got some talent on his team. Joe's got some talent. So it should be fun.
Todd has some injuries.
It's just one injury.
I mean, back.
I know. I do need Puka back. But yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, it's 1 and 2. I mean, it's you'd say it's me and Aaron right now.
Mm.
No.
Not with no Puka.
Gotta get that Puka back.
I know. Well, hopefully he won't play. Maybe if he doesn't play this week and he has a bye and he's back for week 8, then I think I'll be okay.
Todd will be fine. And so, what you all out there in the MHA world, still a lot of fantasy football left to be played. We got to get out of here. Mikey Renault, Todd Diamond, Eric Lansing. We'll see you next time on the MHA podcast.